Good morning. Sorry. It's time for us to begin, so calling all the pastors to the front. Oh my gosh, so sorry. There's just too many fun people this morning to talk to, and I apologize for being late. But it's you guys' fault because you're too fun to talk to. So.
Stop being fun.
Good morning. Welcome this morning to Woodland Chapel, Center for Spiritual Living. We're so glad to see you this morning. And our music, Peter LeClaire. Yeah. So, and our message this morning, Cheryl Guess. So, all right. So we do have folks here for the first time, and welcome, and I think you were all taken care of. If you weren't, just tell us, and we'll do something about it. And today, we have soup. It's our Soup for the Soul, third Sunday, Soup for the Soul. And so it's usually absolutely fabulously delicious. So do stop, have some soup and treats and whatever else are down there, and let us just all have a wonderful day visiting with each other. Okay. Oh, so Wednesday night, I'm getting that. Is Kathy here? She's not here. Okay, Wednesday night, I got it right this time, is a group called Lit Up, and I have gone twice. Now, I live in Happy Valley up by Portland, so I don't always get down here during the week for things, but I have gone to this twice, and you guys, it is really a wonderful experience, and it's been different every time. So we just gather, and what comes up does, and it's wonderful. So it's Wednesday night, 7 to 8:30, and it's in your bulletin. All of this is in your bulletin, so you can take it home and read it for yourself. And then is it next Sunday that your workshop? So we've got some really cool stuff going on. Cheryl Ostrander is doing a workshop. Well, see, I love to announce these because I can really vouch for them. She has done a workshop before, and she's a fabulous facilitator. And this one is on refocus, reframe, releasing the burden, dropping the grudge. So, yeah, if any of that speaks to you guys. And I said to her, which one? Do we pick one or several? Or can I just keep them and nourish them? So anyway, she's really good. In the one other workshop I went to with her was surprisingly valuable in ways that I didn't expect, and I still think about it. So that is next Sunday after service. So yeah, bring your lunch, and I really invite you to take advantage of that. So also, in front of you is I think it's purple, a prayer request form. And Centers for Spiritual Living was actually, before it became a series of churches around the world, we were really based on prayer treatment and healing. That's our foundation, our history. And so what we do is our main focus is really praying. And we have practitioners here and 2 ministers that are also practitioners. So if there's something in your life you need support for, there's a prayer box. You can fill out the prayer form and drop it in the library. And the prayer box, I think it's along this wall. Yeah, that's an important thing to be able to support you in that. And it's always wonderful to do the praying too. So, all right, let us stand.
Sure.
And what are we going to sing this morning?
We're going to sing I Release and I Let Go.
All right.
Yeah, and it's I saw that words were written in the bulletin, so you can look at them if you want to.
All right.
And when you get to the end, you can sing it again. Yep. And maybe we'll do that a few times. open wide. Yeah, it's only up to God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free with the Spirit. Yeah, it's only up to God. Again I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. It's only up to God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. I shine only for one more time. I release. I let go, I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. It's only up to God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yeah, it's only up to God.
And
Nice
so I
job, y'all.
invite you
Sounded good,
to,
sounded good.
you can be seated as we prepare for our prayer. And we have this other song to center us. So.
I heard a familiar tune the other day, and it sounded different to me when I read the lyrics. And I'm going to sing that song. This is a song by a band called Supertramp that you may have heard. Give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit of my love to you. There's so much that we need to share, so send a smile and show you care. Give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit of your time to me. See the man with the lonely eyes. Take his hand, you'll be surprised. Come along, come along, come along. Oh, come along, come along, come along.
I invite you to turn within with me and know the truth. There is a power that surrounds us and a wisdom that fills us. And I invite you to embrace that right now and know the truth. That power is holding us in its embrace, its loving embrace. And even each of us has come here for a purpose. And I invite you to embrace that purpose right now. Know that purpose, that individual spark that has brought you here today. And I speak my word for this message that will be delivered and is simmering right now in the mind of Cheryl. She speaks to each of us, and through her, Spirit is talking to us right now, just waiting for us to open our hearts. This is the place, this is the time. The time is now. I'm grateful to be here with you. I'm grateful to have this opportunity to speak this word. I'm grateful for this service and for this chapel that houses us and embraces us and gives us a place to gather. And I'm grateful for the music that lifts us and honors us and speaks to us in a special way as only music can do. So with that gratitude in my heart and knowing that a shower of blessing is coming just out of my heart to you and from Spirit, I say thank you. And I release this word into the law, knowing it is done as spoken and through grace, perfect grace, so much more. And join me in saying, and so it is. And there's an affirmation. And it's in blue in your program. Join me in saying, in this moment, I declare my truth. Spirit is working for me by working through me, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In my spiritual practice, I like to affirm regularly that I bring my good to life in all that I do. This is not a smarmy platitude trying to make nice. I happen to believe that we, as spiritual beings, have a job to do, so to speak. I believe that as we are heir to all that the infinite presence has to give, we also must stay in balance by giving to life what is ours to give. Our capacity to love comes to mind, or to share joy, or to use our wisdoms and energies to create healthy circumstances. We are not nebbishes. Now, how many of you know what that word means? I didn't, so I looked it up. A nebbish is a timid, meek, or ineffectual person. And I don't think anybody is that here. So we are not nebbishes. We make impacts on surroundings wherever we go. And our impacts are not neutral. A sense of ourselves is left on the people we deal with because we all share some portion of our infinity with others. It is therefore important that we are mindful of what we think and how we behave. And that's what we're taught here, what we think. We will either wisely use our divine energies or we will unwisely use them. We will bring good or we will bring ill. The choice is always ours, particularly if we are self-aware. This would be a good day to choose to bring our divine vitality wherever we go. We leave our mark, however slight it may appear. Will we bring wholeness, vigor, and inspiration? It is ours to do. And the affirmation that goes with this article is, the divine good fulfills me, always has, always will. And I access it every day. As God fulfills me, I assist others in fulfilling themselves. My thoughts and actions bring positive results. And so it is. Thank you.
I'm going to sing a Peter, Paul, and Mary song.
Okay. Yes.
Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Peter, Paul, and Mary, yeah. I remember the last time I was here, I was talking a lot about how these songs I heard on movies that I was watching. There's no exception here. It feels like I watch a lot of movies when I come here and talk. But this was actually more of a television special that was called Puff the Magic Dragon.
I love that.
The song is called We See the Sunshine. And I had never heard anybody but Jackie Paper sing it before this week. But apparently Peter, Paul, and Mary also sang and did a fantastic job. So this song is called We See the Sunshine. If you want to sing along, feel free. The chorus is very familiar, especially by the fifth time. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. They say of that tree of love it will shine on me again. They say it grows on the bank of the river suffering. Shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. If only I could heal your sorrow. Shine on me again. I'd help you find your new tomorrow. Shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. I've seen the steel and the concrete crumble. Shine on me again. And the proud and the mighty all have stumbled. Shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Leave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. Oh, weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again.
I promise to be gentle this time and not yell in the microphone. Did everybody wake up? Good. Good morning, everyone. So nice to see everyone here today, and some new faces and some faces that are familiar, but it's really great to see everyone. So today I'm going to speak on the introduction to science of mind, which is 4 sections. And the first one is the thing itself, which Reverend Julie spoke about last week. Now, why do we call it the thing? For you people that are new, because we don't want to have that gender bias. See, we were so progressive back in 1927, weren't we? But actually, it's because it's to break away from that Judeo-Christian thing where we have the guy sitting up in the sky with a clipboard keeping track of how good or how bad we've been. It's like Santa Claus all year round, right? So we have decided that we prefer to think of it as energy or spirit. But we can call it God, we can call it Buddha, we can call it whatever you like, because it's all still the same one thing. One substance creates all of the universe. All of us are created from this substance. We're not separate from it. We are part of it. We are it in human form. Of course, we can never absolutely be spirit, but we can embrace all the aspects of spirit within our lives. All the beauty, all the love, all the light, all the joy, all the things that are the aspects of God to us is the truth for us. And that truth is formed from new thought. This science of mind, which is what we call it, is not a special revelation or by any individual. It is rather the culmination of all revelations. In other words, when Ernest Holmes wrote this book, he drew from Rumi, he drew from Buddha, he drew from Lao Tzu, ancient philosopher, he drew from Confucius, Hinduism. All of these things were all that he read. He saw the common thread through all of them, that there is one power, and what we believe is a power for good. It is a power for good only, but it's also impersonal, because our job is to impress upon this energy what we desire in our lives. So how does this work? Cause and effect. Whatever we put out, we create something within our lives. If we put out bad, then we get bad. If we put out good, then we get good. And it's all just the same thing. It's a role. It's like karma. All of those things we saw through all these different philosophies and religions was this common thread of cause and effect. And they say that, even in the Bible, God spoke. The word was what made life, just by the word. So your word creates your life. And this is really cool. We don't believe in destiny or fate or anything like that. And the reason being is that with destiny and fate, we would not have free will. And we have free will. We have the ability to choose how we react in any situation. And I know sometimes I haven't reacted necessarily well in some, but I'm a work in progress, like all of us are. We're all just working towards finding that truth within ourselves, what resonates with us, what makes sense to us. And I know Julie spoke last week, and I was laughing and crying, both, but it was so beautiful because what she said is, I tried this religion, I tried that religion, and I decided that didn't work, and I did exactly the same thing. And it's so bizarre, but that people that I have met, the very first time they walked in here, it either resonated with them or it didn't, period. I remember the very first time I went to a Center for Spiritual Living. Somebody had invited a friend of mine who then invited me. Well, she was a very staunch Catholic, and I thought halfway through the service her head was going to set on fire because she was, oh my gosh, this is awful, they're talking about, and she could not get out of there fast enough after it was over. But not me. I couldn't leave. I never left. I couldn't. And seriously, for the first 6 months I went to that church, I cried every Sunday. Not because I was sad. It was like all breaking free. It was just all of this stuff within me that I've hidden, or that all these beliefs that I'd held on to, all of the pain, all the suffering, all the shame, all the guilt. I had really built a nice little place for it here within me, and it was time to let it go. And when it did, it just started coming out through my eyes. That's how it got out of me. But this cause and effect, we look at, this is called religious science, not Christian science, not Scientology. It's religious science. And the reason it's called that is because we believe that someday science will prove what the mystics have been saying all along. And we're doing it, folks. Quantum physics. It shows us that we are all just one thing. And I was reading this article. It was so great. It said that they did this study of people that could really embrace the idea that we're all just one, change their whole attitude about people around them, change their attitude about people around the world. And when you're sitting there and somebody's yelling in your face or really upset and mad at you, it's hard to say, I know you're a spiritual being. I know that you're good. It's hard to do that, but that's what it takes to get to the place of knowing that we are all just one thing. And so what Emerson, part of our teaching, New Thought, the Transcendentalist, ancient philosophers, all of these people added to this thought. And Emerson said, there is no great and no small to the soul that maketh it all. In other words, God doesn't see us as little. God doesn't see us as big. If we only ask for a little bit of good, that's exactly what we'll get. If we expect it to be magnificent, great, and big, and we believe, that's when our good shows up. And so if you think about it, it's done unto you according to your belief. Now, my best friend, when we went to practitioner training, that would make her crazy. She goes, according to your, so what? If I don't believe enough, then my prayers don't get answered? She said, I think that is a cop-out. That phrase is a cop-out because how can I know if I'm believing enough? Well, you will know because it will demonstrate in your life. When you start showing up in your life as your true, authentic self, which that's what this teaching allows you to do. It allows you to be authentic. It allows you to look at your own personal stuff. As I call it, the belief system, also known as your BS. That's all yours. Your whole belief system, that is yours. And guess what? Most of it was taught to you. Because I truly do believe that we are born pure at heart. That we, as babies, we start to accumulate experiences and ideas and beliefs that are transmitted to us through our parents and through our friends or through the church that we attended. All of those things are transmitted to us, but guess what? It's not really you. It is learned behavior. So do you get to choose how you act? Yes. I can't help myself. When I get mad, I just have to, no. Yes, you can, because you have volition. You have free will. You get to decide how you show up. And so that's how this works. According to how you believe is how your life is going to unfold. And so that's why we bless everyone on their path, no matter what their belief system is. If you're Buddhist, if you're a Baha'i, if you're all Hindu, whatever, then I am so happy that you found your path. It's not mine. But I bless you on yours, and I know that's working for you, and that's what's important. Not that you believe like I do, not that I believe like you do. It's about your own personal responsibility for taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, taking care and loving yourself. So this is the thing, there's a lot of laws of nature or physics laws, one of them being like, for example, gravity. Can we explain gravity? It keeps us on this planet. We don't go flying off into space. All of these things are, and then this planet, if you've ever seen a picture of this planet from space, it looks like a big blue marble, but it looks very lonely too because it's just this ball hanging out there in the middle of nowhere. How does that happen? We don't know, but we know this. Even Einstein said, there is a universal intelligence that is back of all creation. And it's too intricate for me to believe that in this little slime pool back in the days that was bubbling with, proteins and all this stuff, that suddenly life emerged. I have a harder time believing that than I do that there's this mystical, there's this strong power that is the creator of all things. That, to me, makes more sense than, being something that crawled out of the swamp. I don't know, but maybe. I'd like to think that's not me, but. So what it is that, how do we use this? Well, the best way to describe it is seed, soil, plant. If you plant a seed into the soil, hopefully you're going to get a plant. Now, if you plant a tomato seed in the soil, you are not going to get a watermelon, unless you got the wrong seed. But what it is that what you plant, we believe that when your mind is open, ideas, where do ideas come from? Do you think they just start in this little organ inside your head? But we are energy, and I do believe that this energy is creative, and it focuses on ideas and things. And so how many times have you heard that some guy around the world came up with this fabulous idea, and it's really changing all of creation, and you thought, I thought of that once. But what's the difference? You can think it. We all are inundated with ideas and new creative things to think about all the time. But it's what we do with it. It's what we do to create the life we want. We could have these fabulous ideas, and we're going to do this, and I'm going to go to the gym every day as soon as I lose weight. Not a very wise way to use it, and that's not how you use this. You use it in the moment. You have that idea. So we say, do a treatment. That's another thing that we say. We say treatment instead of prayer, because our treatments are about telling the universe what we desire. Not begging, not pleading, hoping maybe God will shine on us that day. It's not about that. It's about putting it out there. And we say, do the treatment, so treat and move your feet. So no matter what you do, if you don't take action, it's not going to unfold in your life. How many times have you seen that happen? Haven't you? Haven't you seen that times when you've thought of something, you just didn't do it, and then you think later, that would have been such a positive aspect for my life if I wish I'd stepped in and done that. But it's never too late. You can still do it now. So what we say is involution, which is like the idea comes into your brain, and then it's planted in what we call our subconscious, or the soul, if you want to call it that. But it's the mechanical way that something unfolds. That subconscious, that soil, is where things manifest. You can plant the idea into that soul, and then the plant or the action so what does the seed do? It takes action. It doesn't just lay there and say, I will be a plant someday. The seed already has within it the knowledge that it is a tomato plant. It is now in the medium that is perfect for it, and now it becomes that. By the work of growing, by the nurturing of the water or the sun, all of those things just nurturing, you have the same thing within you. You can plant the seed, and then you can let it unfold. And isn't it cool that you think about an acorn this big will be this giant, mighty oak someday? Where did all that come from? That's the mysticism. That is the part that we don't understand. We can take that seed apart and examine every single molecule, but we will not find that spark that makes it grow. But that spark's within you too. That's the whole point, is that with your free will, you have to be responsible with your life, because that's pretty powerful. Free will, it's nothing to mess with, because whatever you think, whatever you believe, is what's going to unfold in your life. That's a big responsibility. The other thing that we don't believe in is we don't believe that there is a separate force of evil. That's hard for people to believe. I've experienced evil. Yeah, but we're not talking about in other words, if God is eternal, which means no beginning, no end, then how can there be a force for evil? That would mean God was cut in half somewhere, so then it would not be infinite. It would be it would be separation. And besides that, why would God put some force on this planet to torture us and to make us feel bad? I mean, supposedly this is a loving God, and this is our parent. How many parents want to set the devil loose on their kids? I know some, but probably they are already experiencing that. But still, there is no force, a separate force for evil. And then I always get the answer, well, what about this and this horrible thing that this did and that did and all this, these horrible things, that is pure evil. Yes, word evil works, but evil is only found in the heart of man. I've never seen an evil tree. I've never seen an evil animal. I've seen animals that have been mistreated that defend themselves, and they might seem to be evil, but the truth is The only place you find evil is in man. So we create it. And the reason we can is because we have free will. We can create our own bad. We can also create this wonderful, wonderful goodness. We can create so much good in our lives. But so letting go of the evil, the thought of evil. So what I say is that, or what Ernest also said was, you can experience evil, but there's no entity of evil. And I know so many people that I had a friend, she'd always say, oh, the devil's been chasing me all day, fundamental Christian. I mean, he's just been after me all day, and all I could think of is this guy in a red suit with horns and a tail with a pitchfork running around behind her, making her life miserable. Unfortunately, we are the ones that make our lives good, or we are the ones that make our lives miserable. And you can say, oh, well, it's my husband, it's my mother, it's my this, it's my that. It depends upon what you allow. Do you practice self-care? Do you practice boundaries? What an idea. Yeah, some of us just are like a steamroller, laying flat on the, flattened out like a cartoon character, letting people run over us and stuff. But when you really start loving yourself and finding that place within you that is truly you, you don't get flattened by those things like you did before. Your life changes. You change. You see life in a different way. The reason that we think that we can experience two separate things, good and evil, is because we think that there is a duality in the universe. That it's balanced out, half bad, half good, and all this. No, that's not the reality. Can you show me what evil looks like? Yeah. We've seen it. We see it when people in wars and horrible things that people do to other people. We can see what occurs with evil. But are you able to still look at those people and recognize they are still a spiritual being? They're not immune to this. They have just made the decision to live their lives in a way that doesn't unfold into good. And when you can look at it from that point of view, it takes all the fear out of it. All the fear that, something really good happened to me. Oh no, now something bad's going to happen. Well, guess what? It will if that's what you believe. That's what you believe. Then it will occur that way. But the reality is that you get to choose. You get to choose what emotions you exhibit. You get to choose what beliefs you keep inside of you, even though they don't match up with what you really feel. It's like the one that really gets to me is the people that when you have racism, that's a learned behavior. Little kids are not born racist. Nobody is. That's a learned behavior. And when you can step back from your life and look and see, I'm behaving this way because somebody told me to act like this, or somebody told me this is how it is. When you can step back and see the truth, then you don't feel that way anymore. You start recognizing that just because they have more pigment in their skin doesn't mean that they're better or worse than I am. That I am a spiritual being and so are they. And it's amazing, when you start approaching people and you start living that authentic you stop seeing color. You stop seeing anything except that person, that individual. Not clumping them together as you're this or you're that or you're this. Not making assumptions about them, just loving them and just seeing them as the pure spirit that they are. And that's hard to do. That is hard to do. But when you can reach it, and I don't stay there, I slip out. All of us slip out. But that's the reason I always say we're just a work in progress. We're just growing every day. And I really seriously hope, that each and every person in this place learns something new every day. Can you think of it? Maybe it's something as simple as that. Now I know how to run the copy machine. But maybe it's something that easy. Maybe it's just a little thing. But always searching and seeking to grow and to become more than what you are. To be that person that's inside of you. and to align your life with that truth, to align yourself. That was what Lao Tzu always said, that you are to be an authentic man means that you're exactly the same in public as you are in private. So if you're this great guy, everybody loves you, we're having fun, and then you go home and you kick your dog, you are not authentic. No, you're just putting on a face. You're putting on a facade. So that's about what loving yourself is. That means loving yourself no matter what. No matter if you think, I could lose 30 pounds, I could do this, I could do that. I would be perfectly happy why not just be perfectly happy right now? Why not just love you just as you are in this moment? Wouldn't that be wonderful? You know, I want you all just to turn to the person next to you or behind you or somewhere and just say, I love who you are. Can you do that? And can you mean it? Can you really look in their eyes? So now going back, thank you guys for doing that. Don't you feel loved now? Don't you? Okay, so what it is that our beliefs, the reason we need to examine them, the reason we need to make sure they're really what we believe is because our beliefs can limit our experience. What we believe, this person's being mean, this person's doing that, and it's messing up my life. Well, then you have limited yourself. You've thought of lack and limitation. But we are possibility and potential, always. Every minute that you're breathing, you are a possibility and you are potential in action. Right now, in this moment, that's who you are. Isn't that a great way to look at it? And, you know, just so we got to clean out those old beliefs to make room for something new. You know, I used this phrase the last time I spoke, I think, about the RVs. I used to be an activities coordinator for this huge park, and the rule was nothing new can come in unless something else goes out. Because when you're living in approximately 300 square foot of stuff, you cannot be a hoarder. You cannot have all of your clothes in one closet. You have to start looking at what is serving me, what do I want in my life, and what do I need to let go in order to get it. If there's a limitation or a thought, I can't go back to school. You know, I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to do this, but I'm too old. I'm too this. Well, I'll tell you what, age is not a cage. You do not have to lock yourself up. If you have that desire within you to change and to be something more than what you are in this moment, go for it. Nothing's holding you back except you. Do you have that little voice in your head saying, oh, I don't know if I can do that, and it would be too hard, and it's too much, and well, then you're making excuses for not living your life. So open up your hearts. Open up your mind. Start looking at life in a whole new way, that it is just waiting for you just to grab hold of it and just embrace it and love it. Because this is a gift. Your life is a gift. And each and every one of you are necessary for this planet. Nobody is nothing. Everybody, the man on the streets, all of those, they are not nothing. They are everything. They're spiritual beings living their existence from their belief system. So I would just like to leave you with this, that you are loved, you are potential, you are possibility. Anything in your life that you desire, put it out there. Put it into words. Make it your own. And then embrace it. Namaste.
I'm going to play a song by one of my favorite singers whose name is Kesha. And Kesha has had an interesting journey, roller coaster of her career, but at one point in time, she decided it was time to give up the dollar sign in her name. She spells her name KE$HA. So this is a song by Kesha without the dollar sign, and it's called Prayin'. And I have heard of her talking about this song sort of being in tribute to her past self that she was not needing in that moment. So this is a song called Prayin' by Kesha. Well, you almost had me fooled. Told me that I was nothing without you. But after everything you've done, I can thank you for how strong I have become. 'Cause you brought the flames and it put me through hell. I had to learn how to fight for myself, and we both know what the truth I could tell. And I'll just say this, that I wish you farewell, and I hope you're somewhere praying, praying. I hope your soul is changing, changing. I hope you'll find your peace, falling on your knees, praying. I'm proud of who I am. No more monsters, I can breathe again, yeah. And you said that I was done, but you were wrong, 'cause now the best is yet to come. I can make it on my own. I don't need you. I found a strength I've never known. I felt thunder and I felt rain. When it's finished, they won't even know your name. 'Cause you brought the flames and it put me through hell. I had to learn how to fight for myself, and we both know all the truth I could tell. I'll just say this as I wish you farewell. I hope you're somewhere praying, praying. I hope your soul is changing, changing. I hope you'll find your peace, falling on your knees, praying. I hope you're somewhere praying, praying. And I hope your soul is changing, changing. I hope you'll find your peace, falling on your knees, praying. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Peter. And I know why Peter watches a lot of Puff the Magic Dragon
right.
and things. They have she's a little over 1 year old now, isn't she?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
the Wiggles are also.
Well, you can
prominent.
watch it anyway, but that's an excuse. My son, occasionally when he wants to make me cry, sings Puff the Magic Dragon to me, and it's like, oh my God. Thank you,
Thank
Peter.
you.
So now's the time in our service where we get to share from our heart and I guess our pocketbooks, and to support this community that we love. And so I just invite you to say this affirmation with me and really think of the words, because it's so true. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for we are just one energy flowing everywhere.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Oh, yes, we're so blessed this morning, especially hearing that wonderful message and the music. Thank you, Peter. We appreciate you. So just close your eyes with me and just think. Just think. Just for just a few seconds. I am so blessed. And this blessing makes my heart just vibrate with wanting to give and share and be who I was born to be. God walking on this planet. And here this morning, I've decided to give and share. A place where I can come and know this and be told this and feel this and express this and go out into the world and share it with my world. I am so blessed. We are so blessed here, and we give thanks to you for all the blessings you give to us with all that you share. Time, talent, and treasure. That is being blessed and sharing it. And so together, let us just simply say this wonderful, powerful statement. And so it is. Thank you.
Yeah, so let us stand together and say our prayer of protection that is in your bulletin, a beautiful reminder that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So let us stand together for our peace song, holding hands and affirming that despite appearances, peace is possible, and it begins with us.
All right, I'm gonna try to rock it. We all look like we got hands. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God Very good.